I'm a little nervous. I wasn't going to read, but I think I'm going to. We never really told our story. This is my husband, George, and our son, Leo, and our daughter sitting over there. She's a little camera shy right now. Hi, Maggie. This is the first time we share our story publicly, and we're really excited to do it for the March of Dimes. And we're really thankful that we were invited here tonight. On the screen, you can see a picture of our son, Nicholas. Nicholas was born in 2004. I did everything right in my pregnancy. I was healthy, we were young, I went to the doctor regularly, and just unexpectedly one night, I started feeling weird things, and I didn't know what I was feeling. So I kind of ignored it a little bit, and then it got really hard to handle, and my husband had to take me to the hospital, rushed me in the middle of the night. When I got there, I was 6 centimeters dilated, I was in full-on labor, and I was only 24 weeks in my pregnancy. They told me that they could try to stop it, they gave me every medication possible, and at the end of the day, 24 hours later, Nicholas was born. The doctors told us that his chances were pretty low, and even if he did survive, there were probably going to be some complications. They did promise us that we were going to have a roller coaster of emotions, and that definitely was the truth. He was whisked straight into the NICU. He was hooked up to everything you can imagine. Every beeping sound that you can think of was going off every 2 seconds. He had tubes and lines and lights shining on him, all over him, and all around him. We never left his side. We couldn't believe this was happening to us. This was our first baby. We were so happy to have him, and we were so devastated to see him suffering at such a young age. He was just too frail, and he had 2 cardiac arrests, and they shocked him back to life. And by the 3rd one, he just couldn't come back. And he passed away. He passed away on May 5th, 2004, 21 days after he was born. It was a beautiful, beautiful morning, and he passed away on my husband's 29th birthday. We couldn't believe it. It was like a surreal experience. It was just incredible. We left the hospital, and 4 days later, it was Mother's Day. And my family didn't know really how I was going to react to it. And on that day, I realized something really incredible. I was actually thankful. I was so incredibly thankful. I was thankful that my son was born in the United States, where the March of Dimes was giving him an incubator where he lived for 21 days, where all the research that went into keeping him alive allowed me to be a mom. On Mother's Day, I didn't have my baby, but I was a mother, and it didn't matter. No one could ever take that away from me, ever. I got to sing to my baby for 21 days. I got to kiss him. I got to hug him, even though he was very, very small. I got to be a mom, and that's all because of the March of Dimes and people like you that do the walks, that do the fundraising, that raise awareness. That's the only reason why I got to be a mom. A year later, I was really blessed, and we found out that we were having a baby. And this time again, I'm having a wonderful pregnancy, and we were pregnant with Maggie, and at 34 weeks, without any explanation, I just went into labor again. I rushed into the hospital one more time. They tried to stop it. It's just not happening. She's born at 34 weeks. She was huge. Look at that beautiful baby. 7 pounds, 6 weeks early. We were like, this is perfect. She's fine. She's 7 pounds. She's going to be fine. Well, you know what? Size really doesn't matter when it comes to development. That's why it's so important what the March of Dimes is doing about 39 weeks, at least 39 weeks. So she's 34 weeks, and she needs to go to an NICU. She can't breathe. And I just can't believe this is happening to us again. And all of a sudden, this baby is born, and they take her away, and she goes into the NICU, the same NICU where Nicholas was the year before, and she also was in a March of Dimes incubator. And she was fed by tube, and she was breathing with a machine. And the big difference was that she was born at 34 weeks instead of 24. Huge difference. Those 10 weeks made the difference between me having a daughter or not. And Maggie is now healthy and beautiful. 7 days after she was born and admitted to the NICU, she got to go home. It was the most incredible gift we could ever imagine. I couldn't believe it.
Here's Maggie.
Here's my Maggie. But then, there was my baby Leo, which is right here. You want to show her face? Say hi. So Leo, again, I'm having a wonderful pregnancy, and this time, I knew all the signs. I just knew everything I was looking for. That's why education to mothers is so important, and I know March of Dimes advocates for that. This time I knew everything, so the first sign that I had that something was going wrong, I ran to the hospital and my OBGYN took action. At 26 weeks, I went into labor with Leo. But this time, for no reason, again, believe me, you would think that there's just no reason, and that's part of the research that is being done every day. I go to the hospital, they try to stop it, and they did, because I went early and quickly, and I knew what I needed to say when I got there. Right away, I was put in bed rest. I was ordered to have this wonderful service called Matria Health, which is a home monitoring system. What they did, they put a catheter in my leg, administering drugs constantly into me. They had a monitor around my belly. They monitored my contractions real time, and they sent the information to a nursing station where they would call me and tell me, you're having contractions, or you're doing wonderful. We did this for 3 months. And on my 39th week, Leo was born via C-section, a perfect 9-pound enormous baby. This little thing was 9 pounds. When he was born, they brought him to me, and I didn't know what to do. I was crying because I had never held a baby in my arms before. We had had 3 children, and this was the first time in my life that I was able to hold him. And it was surreal. We left the hospital 3 days later, and we've been inseparable, literally all of us, ever since. They're perfect, they're beautiful, they're rambunctious, and just like any other little boy and girl that are almost 6 and 7 years old. The only reason why we have these beautiful children is because of what you do, and because of what March of Dimes does, and what you guys are going to do this year. I know that you are all rallied up and you're ready to do the fundraising. This is why you do it. You help me, my husband, and my beautiful children have a future and have a life. We didn't know this was going to happen to us. It could happen to anyone here. We just heard the statistics. It does happen, and it happens very often. That's why today is so important that you guys get really excited about going out there and raising some funds for all the research, for the education, and for the equipment that's going to keep those babies alive. And I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this amazing gift for my babies, and what you're going to be doing the rest of this year for all those babies that are fighting for their life in the NICU right now. Thank you so, so much. I think they like it up here.